Rachel is going to be director, and I will be in charge of camera and sound. These are some of the stuff that entails being a director and being a camera and sound operator.
We're also planning to share the role of for paperwork and stuff. We're gonna share those roles. So we're planning to put the script together, and I'll probably do stuff like the storyboard and shot list to get it more precise. But otherwise, we're gonna be doing most of the paperwork together.
So you're going to be producing together?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when it comes to editing,
We'll probably share that as
Yeah.
well. Because neither of us are amazing at the job, so it'll be better if we did it together. The main idea that we want is we want to show a man go through the stages of grief, but also the stages that came before that. So we want to show what happens before the incident, and then all the stages of grief after. We mostly want to try and separate these different stages through colours. So the stages before the incidents are going to be dressed in yellow, a more happy colour to give it a more happy tone. And then the incident and just a little bit before the incident is going to be have hints of red in it. And then every scene that mostly comes after stages of grief are all going to be in blue, except acceptance, which is going to have hints of yellow in it again to say that his happiness is coming back, or at least he's going to try and fight for his happiness.
also the main character, we are wanting him to be like an unreliable narrator. So he's talking to someone, and the dialogue over the top will be like a poem about it.
Rather a poem or him talking. The main thing we really want to show is while they're in this kind of yellow scene, which is supposed to be really happy and them being really joyous, we see the couple get into a huge fight, but he's still talking dialogue over it, saying how there was no problems, everything was great beforehand, when actually before the accident, him and his boyfriend had got into a fight, and his boyfriend died while they were still arguing with each other. Hence why his stages of grief impacted him so hard, because he feels like it's his fault.
An example of an unreliable narrator used in media is Tokyo in Money Heist, who narrates the whole series, but some of it isn't as reliable as it seems. And this is our mood board, which shows some of the colours.
Yeah. So as the actual incident will be painted in red with both lighting and costumes. The yellow will mostly be put in costumes because having yellow lighting would be a bit more deceiving. So it would still work. So there might be a hint. For the incident, we kind of want to frame the incident throughout because the plot is kind of going to be jumbled. As the timeline is basically we see the dead body first, and then jump to a happy scene. So we're kind of playing from two different spectrums and trying to go into the middle. So we're trying to play before the incident and the incident happening at the same time. We also have alcoholism at the end for actual props in it, because he's retelling the story. He doesn't remember all the details, and so we kind of want stuff like this where we don't have actual news titles or anything. It's just bad news or a shot. I would really like the idea of there's where he has a bottle of alcohol, and instead of saying the brand of it or anything, it just says drugs, and just something like that.
Or says the stage of grief that he is currently in.
Kind of like this. And then after we finally see this huge build up and almost the final stage just before acceptance, we want to have this huge build up where we go through it all again, just everything repeating moment, and then have something breaking to show that he's had a breakthrough and has realised he just needs to come to accept what's happened and needs to actively try and put effort in to try and move on from all the trauma he's gone through.
But when we do show something breaking, we will do it safely and from a distance.
Yeah.
These are our goals that we want to do. Much like Tom and Kyle in the past, we did we did something that we weren't really a fan of, and we want to redo. In first year, during the music video, we tried to play around with color theory, but that didn't really go our way. So we want to try and take what we've learned and improve upon it.
Yeah, we definitely want to try and fix the problems we have with that one, because when we tried to use color theory last time, we had a very limited color palette, what we thought would be useful, but it was so limited and kind of got confusing that it just didn't work. Like, we had two different colors trying to represent the same thing, which didn't really make sense. While with this one, there is just one color for one stage, except for acceptance, where it's going to have mixtures of blue and yellow together. It's a stage of grief, but also it's him kind of reverting back to the first stage where he was happy.
And we want to like at the location we want to film like in the tunnel, and like in the tunnel will be like the stages of grief, and then acceptance. Like we can show like, because at the end you can like sort of see the light, so we want to like sort of show that as well.
Yeah.
Because like there was always light at the end of the tunnel.
And trying to keep out of like COVID problems and getting people infected. Well, for the kind of more cutesy couple shots, the plan is to have it look like they're filming them themselves, like it's cute little memories he has on his phone. That way we can have them at more of a distance, or even not even together. We can just pretend like that the main character is behind the camera filming his boyfriend, when actually he's just doing the voiceover in a different room. That way there's no way of getting infections or anything.
So a target audience is like what the director and studio have in mind when they're doing the film, and it has to go through like different ratings. So if there's like too much sex and violence, it's usually going to be like an 18 plus or a 15, depending on how far it will go. We're thinking it will be like for people who are like a teenage audience up to like young adult, which is around like 14 to 25.
We also are trying to aim for a more LGBTQ friendly audience, hence the gay couple, and try and give it a more positive spin. However, over the past week I have acknowledged we're kind of playing into the kill your gay stereotype, which I didn't realise we were intentionally doing. So whether we still keep our characters gay or not is kind of in the air, because at the moment I would particularly not like to participate into a stereotype that is kind of harmful and is kind of really mean, because it just shows people as expendable, which isn't the goal we were going for. It was mostly to try and convey emotions and make it more strongly by making them a couple, but it might be easier to make them more like friends.